Monday, January 27th, and the Dome Foamers podcast is back. I am your host, Christian Krueger, and I'm joined by Neal Majewski and Brian Dorton, and we're just lifelong Astros fans that love to talk about the Stros. So, boys, let's go. Episode Jess Tucker 73.
Hmm.
How about that? How about that? I've been holding on that, waiting on that one.
Welcome
That's an
back.
old high school teammate of ours. But episode 73, we've taken a little bit of a break. One, there wasn't a
Yeah,
ton of news,
you
and we
boys,
have
you boys
these.
took some sort of vacation. I've been
We
here every single week, and
yeah
no one's been
yeah
around.
yeah. The episode count has not gone up though. Um, we have all these things called kids and sports and
Yeah,
everything else, but
amen.
uh, pitchers
Stupid
and catchers,
jobs.
pitchers and catchers report in roughly 3 weeks. So it's time to get after it, and it's one of my favorite times of year. And so here we are with some news as well. So we're going to touch base on kind of some of the changes, and then everything that's hitting the old Astros news wire, which I'll throw a little teaser out. Some I believe, and some I do not. So
Ooh.
before we kind of get into it, boys, how we doing?
Like you said, just living the dream, you know?
Mm.
Melting a bunch of snow over here, boys.
Oh yeah, that's
We
right. I
had
haven't talked to you since you
inches
got the
upon inches, inches upon
Dorton,
inches.
you got way more than we did.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The kids were out way longer than they should have been, but it's all right. I did make them walk to school, um,
uphill
and
both ways.
so they could have that opportunity at some point. You're gonna thank me. You're gonna thank me because you are gonna say my dad made me walk to school in the snow, and then
And
you
it's
can do
true.
your own embellishments from there.
Yeah, I remember my
Yeah.
days.
Yep.
That was odd seeing Houston with a lot more. My brother got 4 or 5 inches at his house in Houston.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we had snow. I had snow on the roof until Friday,
That's
which
Wow.
crazy.
was 4 days. I had snow on the roof for 4 days. What
Yeah, it was weird. That next
country is
day,
this?
all of New Braunfels was white, which is always weird looking, right? And then the next day,
That
there was done nothing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get
that's
in.
crazy.
Let's talk first about someone that we have beat up here since this podcast has taken shape, and that is Ryan Presley, who we nicknamed Ryan Stressley. I want to, before we celebrate him no longer in the pen, I do want to say his 2022. I'm going to give the guy his due. His
Okay, fair.
2022,
I wanted to make sure we did.
his 2022 in the World Series was a 0.0 ERA, and
Correct.
he was. I thought he was on the short list as MVP. So
In the
I
World
want to
Series.
correct. I want to give him
Look,
credit that he was a key piece. He's been a key piece. My personal, and I'll give you guys the floor. My personal issue with him is he was making way too much money for his performance the last 2 years, which was
yes.
$14 million. I don't honestly like the way he handled Hader coming aboard. He was never happy with it. You could tell him by his body language. Fine, whatever. So
Okay.
let's. He's traded to the Cubs. He did. I also give him. He did waive his no trade clause. His wife is a big time. She's big involved in Houston stuff. They've raised their kids here. So I do want to make sure we give him his place in Astro lore and Astro history, because he is part of a World Series, a winning team, and other teams that won the pennant. So with that being said, we trade him to the Cubs for a prospect, and they are going to pay 8.5 million of his $14 million salary this year, and the Astros are going to pay 5.5. I thought the Astros would have to pay about half, so that's a little under that. So that's great. They needed him off the books. it was time for him to have a change. He's probably going to do fairly decent and
Yep.
well in Chicago.
Yeah, they're going to put him in a closing position, and he'll do well.
He's probably going to do well. Now he is aging, but
Sure.
Yeah.
sometimes your course just runs. It just runs out, and
So
that's my opinion.
Yep.
Go ahead,
So let me
Jordan.
just say this: even in 22, which he was lights out in the World Series, he garnered the nickname Stressley in 2022.
Yeah, that's
Leading up to the World Series. That's where that nickname came from. In 2022, Ryan Stressley to the mound, because
Well,
even then he was bringing hitters to full count every single at bat.
well. He rarely had three down inning ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
uh,
so I mean, like to say like he was always lights out is that's an incorrect statement. But he was lights out during that World Series, and he has underperformed ever since.
so I'm going to go back and again show our age on some of this, but you know, uh, a Hall of Famer, a current recent Hall of Famer, Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner, hello.
Uh, I don't know
The
if you
Astros.
guys,
He's in the third Astro to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm assuming he's going to go in as Astro.
yeah.
Well, he was wearing an Astro hat when he
Oh, was he?
yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Um, that guy, I mean, that guy put us through some hard times too. I think Stressley gets a bad rap to some degree. Now, again, a closer, that's a bad job because nobody
Yeah,
remembers the ones you do good. They just remember the ones you screw up.
it's like an NFL cornerback.
Sure, sure.
You can be great 99% of the time, and that one time you get beat on double move, that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah, I mean, my
Yeah.
wife won't listen to this, but it's Valentine's Day and anniversaries. All you can do is screw those up. So, uh, I mean,
She better be listening.
I don't know. She may.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I don't, to the level that you guys are at. I mean, yes, this last year it wasn't good. I don't know if you saw our closer stats. It wasn't like he was just lights out either. But if you go through the history of Astros closers, which we know better than some other teams, but Brad Lidge, he would give you a heart attack, right? I mean, I don't even want to talk about Mark McGuire. Um,
Albert Pujols.
our Pujols, yeah. Uh, I mean, we've gone through closers,
Yep.
and it's been similar. So in my mind, I'm not saying the Astros screwed up. I'm just saying the setup wasn't. I mean, he wasn't a setup guy. They put him in a role he wasn't going to be successful at. He didn't want to necessarily be successful, and it just didn't work. And so when you're saying, it kind of took its course, it did. It did. I think the Astros went on this deal, and I think the Cubs went on this deal.
That's fair.
Fair. Yeah, I just wanted to give him his due in 2022. Dorton's right. He struggled, but again, I'm going to remember 2022 World Series, and I mean, look, he did his job. And then I'm going to remember all the times that I've group text y'all mad at him. I mean, that's why he got the name that he got. I mean, he would either walk the first guy or the first guy would hit a double in the gap. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's fine. And look, it ran its course. A hat tip to him. He'll always have a World Series ring. Um, you know, I wish him good luck unless he's playing the Astros.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
we needed the salary dump, and so it is what it is, and it's just going to be weird not being able to complain and about Stressley
Oh,
next year. But we'll
oh.
find
Well,
somebody.
I was
We'll
gonna
find
say
somebody else.
yeah, I'm
telling
sure we could find somebody, but we
Noah
still get
Abreu, no Stressley.
we still get to complain about
Who,
paying for him a little bit.
who's up? Who's next?
Oh, I've got a list. I've got a list, Mansky. All right, so let's transition to something we didn't talk about after our last episode. We talked about the Kyle Tucker trade. Was the signing of Christian Walker. The guy the Astros have been tied to for a couple of years. 3 years, $60 million, which is awesome. I personally think, I think it's a I'm surprised they got him for what they got him. He should rake in the Crawford boxes. Of course, we've said that before about first basemen we've
don't
signed.
say that.
Um,
Don't say that.
I will say this: this is never going to get the pub it gets, but he's the number one for defensive first baseman when it comes to runs saved and advanced metrics. That's been a hole ever since. That's been a hole for a while.
Yes.
So that'll help.
At first base?
Yeah, that'll help. But
Well,
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do. I mean, he's 30, 34.
34.
Yeah, he's not young, but I will say this. I mean, he's coming to a place where it's a hitter's ballpark. So we'll see. But at least the first base question is done for 3 years. Hopefully.
Well, okay. All right. Slow down, Slick. Like that.
God, we all have PTSD
so bad.
Good
so
Lord.
Bad. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
You want me to overlay? You want me to overlay like what his projections are at minute or at whatever the new stadium is called now?
No, because we did that with that last.
I do. I actually did. You have them?
Oh my gosh.
I don't. I'm not going to do it.
I'm
not going to do it.
I'll step outside for a second.
Absolutely not going to do that.
You mean at the ice box?
The ice box.
Bacon? What is it? How do you say it?
I don't know. It's so weird. So all of that is absolutely, he's got to do it. But I am encouraged that I don't have to pencil John Singleton in every day at first base. And let's see what happens, what they do with Singleton. I don't know. I can't imagine him being on the roster just to play first base and DH, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Well, I mean, how long did it take for us to get rid of what's his name? The bench rider that was on the 40-man roster for almost three
Greg Kessinger?
Kessinger, yes.
Mm.
You want to talk about, I tell you what, you want to talk about career. Somebody. How many years did he vet? How many years did
I don't know, but he also got picked up. Someone picked him up. I think the Diamondbacks did, actually.
You know, he was on the 40-man active roster
a long time
for most of that, and that is to me.
I agree.
I'm not sure he ever brought a glove to the stadium.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know what kind of juice he had on.
Yeah.
Whomever he had, but like,
was he really like on the 40-man roster? I mean, was he really on?
Yes.
No,
yes.
I know, but like, did he really count? Like, did he really count?
You know where it counted? It counted for his like retirement and for his like vesting and like for his.
Yeah, it does.
For those guys that like when it comes to like getting their pensions, like he sat there and got active man roster.
Well, he didn't get active, and he got active man when he was on the 26.
Yeah,
but no, there's another tier being on 40-man roster. Yeah, I mean, Dorton, you're right, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, this is not going to be a Greg Kessinger episode. I can tell you that right
now. Let's talk a little bit more about what we're losing with Greg Kessinger. A little bit more about
thoughts real fast before we get to the big topic and Christian Walker.
Yeah, I think he solidifies an infield with Paredes at third. Pena and I know we're going to get there, but Altuve and at second and Walker at first. That's a top level. That's a top level infield. Now, obviously,
well, I like it for protection for Jordan.
In what way?
What do you mean? Hopefully he's hitting behind Jordan.
Oh, you're talking about the batting lineup. Yes. Yep. Yeah. I was talking infield as far as just defensively. I mean,
we were not good last year defensively. We were not.
Well, at first base, obviously, is a question mark. Bregman at third was always solid.
He won a Gold Glove.
Pena dropped. He dropped especially from his rookie year where he was amazing. And then Altuve, Altuve's got that. He's going to make some silly play and then boot one here and there, but he's Altuve and we just shrug it off. I mean, it's like his base running. Sometimes he pisses you off, but then he'll pull some crap out of his leg that, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah, the outfield obviously is still a question mark, and we can talk about that. But infield wise, defensively great. I agree. Offensively, I mean, solid, very solid. So,
I mean, I think where it stands right now, got a solid catcher. We've got a solid first baseman. We do have a solid third baseman. Got a solid middle infield. Outfield is there's a hole or two in the outfield. There's some question marks in the pitching roster, but I mean, infield's not bad.
Okay, well let's just jump right to it.
Let's do it.
Let's jump to the big news that's circulating. Um, Bregman has not signed, and he's not getting the offer that he thought he was going to get. And I said this all along. It's because he's going to go to places where the ballpark is not conducive for how Bregman hits. He's not a masher. He is a line drive hitter who gets fly balls that would be outs at many places into the Crawford boxes. We're all Bregman fans. The 6 and 156 is still on the table. The issue is that the first year has to do with some deferred money, and he does not like the fact that he's taken a pay cut. I read this article today. I don't know all the truth to that, but here's my issue, and I'll get you guys' thoughts. If he wanted to be an Astro, he would have signed the damn thing already.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, this isn't.
Now,
Yeah,
now the problem is he's not got yet. He doesn't have an offer any better than what the Astros have out there because he would have signed
correct.
that thing all right already.
Correct.
So
So
where
here's been the consistent there's been a consistent debate, at least here in this house, about Bregman, and it has been kind of who's who are we pointing a finger at here? Like, who are the, like, is it Bregman? Is it Bregman's team? Is it, well, if we want him back on the Astros, is it the Astros organization? Like, where does all of this lie, right? And so we get a bunch of like, well, is it Bregman himself who is like, well, I'm worth this, and this is all I'm taking. I'm not taking a dime less. Or is it Bregman's team who has kind of gotten in his head and said, you're not taking a dime less than this? And you hear that enough, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to take a dime less than this. But I
your
think
value is only what someone's willing to pay for and that you agree upon.
So I mean, in my mind, I don't think that anybody has done a worse job off seasoning than Alex Bregman this season so far, or like this off season. Like, I think that his value, his value is incredibly high, but I think he has overplayed, and he has overvalued himself almost out of different markets.
Well, yeah, but it comes back. I agree. It comes back to all of these analytics say that wherever he goes, he's going to decline even more than he would if he was here in Houston, based on
Right.
the ballpark that he hits in. Again,
Right.
this is
And
not a Christian Walker. I'm using him because we just talked about him, who's a masher, right? Christian Walker can hit 440-foot home runs. Alex Bregman cannot. I mean, has he done it? Sure. Once in a
yeah,
blue
but
moon.
that's not his. That's
He
not his
lives
jam.
on the 365, 375-foot home run.
Pull.
Yes.
Right. 370
Um,
foot pull.
Majewski, thoughts?
yeah. I mean, and I think we've kind of hinted at this through text messages. But first of all, I am more than okay if he does not sign with the Astros for his 6 year deal. I would be
I agree with
upset.
you. I agree.
I'd be upset for the 6 year deal. Because, and like I said, all he is going to do is decline. And what does that fourth, fifth, sixth year at best, look like? Does he become some sort of DH? Well, we don't need that, right? I mean,
Right.
we don't need that guy. He's got the elbow concerns. He missed some games at third base because of that. I have not heard an update. Maybe it's perfectly fine. Maybe it's not. But
We don't know. We don't know yet.
yeah, heard nothing, right? So first of all, my stance is, yeah, I'm fine. I could, I could maybe be okay, and I don't even feel great about saying this part, but I could maybe be okay for at max a 3-year deal. What that number is, not very high for him. It's not
Um,
something he's going to be probably willing to do.
I get, you know me. I mean, I get it. I'm with you. But then he'll just run to Detroit or somewhere else. Which again, I understand
Sure.
where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
if
in
5 and 56 is the best offer, and he went all the way around the MLB and didn't get a better offer, I'm gonna tell you what, my offer's 5 and 125.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
yeah,
Like,
Yep.
well,
then
that
if you
what
want to go play to Detroit that bad, and you want to go, I believe his wife is originally from Houston, and you want to move her to Detroit with a young one and another one on the way. I believe they're expecting another one, and you want to go to Detroit that bad, have at it, bud.
I hear it's lovely this time of year.
Well, that's a massive ballpark too. That is a massive. That is not. That's not going to look great for him. Now, Detroit would be paying for leadership and being an older guy,
Sure.
and for all the young guys, I get it. But
AJ Hinch stuff.
yeah,
yep.
but I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would say,
yeah, yeah.
hey, we love you. We love
Yep.
what you've done. Here's 5 and 125. Take it or leave it. That's what I would do. But
Yeah.
Well,
And Brian, your question earlier about where does the fault? I mean, who's the hang up on this, this thing? And I go back to, the standing ovation, them pulling him out the last game, regular game of the year. Everybody knows it's over. And there's
I
only
wasn't. I wasn't out of the parking lot of the final game, and Neil, I believe it was you
yeah,
that sent us the tweet that he made.
right. So I think he has checked out of Houston and really I think again the Scott Boras stuff, but I think a lot of this is just smoke. I think this is
could
some
be.
smoke to make sure Houston doesn't get Bregman back, and that's Scott Boras games being played. So,
I think so too. I think
um,
you're right. I mean, in terms of news that you can't rely on at all whatsoever. So random Twitter read, but I mean, some of them are pretty good. Um, I think it was I think it was in a Chandler thread I read, like he they don't think that even the standing 6 year, what is it, 6 year
156.
156,
So
that's not
can
even
I
gonna
clarify?
that's not
Yeah,
gonna get done.
it shouldn't. And
No,
so,
no, no. On Bregman's side.
oh yeah, well, then I guess I hope he's ready for a 1 year contract, but from somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're saying that Bregman isn't good with that deal.
That's
Like that
unreal. I
this
mean,
is the part that I don't understand. That is the part. It's like, whether who knows where the truth lay, but like, if that's the case, like what? Like what do you think you're worth, bud? And like, what are people telling you that you're
yeah.
worth?
Well, so let me backtrack and then we'll get into that. So it's my understanding through a couple of scouting buddies, and again, they don't work for the Astros. They just hear everything that originally his problem with the 6 and 156 was the Astros wanted to defer money the first year and stair step it like they did Jordan Alvarez.
mhm.
That may
So
still be the case. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I considering their situation to avoid the second threshold of the luxury tax, I guarantee you it's the case.
Yeah.
And so it pissed Bregman off. because he was taking a substantial pay cut year one, but he was still going to make up for it down the road, and it was guaranteed money of 156,000. I'm not 150,
Yeah.
which one?
Yeah.
156 million. But and supposedly the Astros put that offer back on the table, and he doesn't him or his team don't like him taking a pay cut year one, even though he's going to make a guaranteed 156 million. At that point, you have to pull the offer and say, okay, well,
Best of luck. We
best
wish
of
you
luck.
the best of luck.
We will come back to the table, but go sign whatever it is that you need to sign.
We wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
And we'll keep the door open.
Let me ask y'all this question. Okay. Money, salary out of the equation. Okay.
That's hard to do, but okay.
Yeah, I know it's a little awkward. Do you want Isaac Paredes or do you want Alex Bregman?
Damn, that's
Bregman.
So Christian, you're like me
Bregman.
because, and I'm gonna come back to you on that, Brian. But you're like me because, like I have moved past Alex Bregman.
But I'll take Bregman at third base any day, all day.
Defensively,
yes,
right?
Any day, all day.
The locker
and
room.
Dorton's answer is not wrong.
I'm with you. I know the fact that you and I paused, we could make probably a case for either.
Yep.
I
know. And
but
there's always something to be said about put Paredes at the plate.
The cool thing about this podcast is it's saved in the cloud. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can go back. So since I'm not going to talk money, because that's a fair question. I mean, there is a substantial difference between the money, but take the money out of the equation. Here's why I pause. Okay. And Dorton's answer, I totally understand it. I get it. It's not a wrong answer. But let me ask you this. I'm not going to talk money.
Right.
But the next 5 years, whose numbers are going to be better?
Right.
Isaac Paredes or Alex Bregman? Not the history, not the clutch hitter, not the one that's killed so much good pitching in the playoffs that we've done. That's why we love him. The next 5 years, whose numbers are going to be better?
And so that was going to essentially be my next question. Who makes us better?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, and that kind of was the initial question, but it's just one of those things to where.
And Isaac Paredes is not the equal parts is not the same player yet that Alex Bregman is. But I'm talking next 5 years. Then on top of that, if you bring in money and salary, then it's a no-brainer.
Right. Yeah, because while we let's just say, may not be as good at third base and just the overall picture, right, with him. Let's just batting, defense. Let's just say just a little bit of a decline at that position in both defense and hitting. Did we get something better in return at another position? Because, and this is where salary comes into play. But you know, are we a better team because he's there? And that's the game. I mean,
they don't have to play out. I mean, Isaac Paredes could flop and be horrible, and we never see him again. I like the fact that he's 25, but hey, that doesn't mean that guarantees nothing. We have to see it, but it's a great question. Of course, there's always why not have both? But you got to get you got to get Bregman to sign a contract.
Okay, let's assume that's the case. So obviously, it's in the media that Altuve is there saying, "I tell you what, I'll go to left, right, or left field." Where are y'all on that? Because
I hate it.
I was gonna
hate
say
it.
I am like this.
I hate it.
This is wrong. Why would you take a all-star caliber second baseman and make him not that?
Yeah, and let's not act like left field in Houston's tough. Yes, you have the corner. That's different. But Isaac Paredes is 25. He can. I mean, I'm not saying he's Ricky Henderson out there. God rest his soul. But I mean, like, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, don't take the 34-year-old player that his position is right next to the Astros home dugout.
Yeah.
And
Make him
over
run
time, make him run out to left field and chase balls and crash into the wall. That's for the younger guy.
Yeah.
That's why we don't want Jordan out there.
Right.
And I mean, and why would you move Bregman? I mean, you wouldn't move Bregman. Why would you move Bregman's double play counterpart, who's been the most vocal about bringing him out of the infield? That doesn't make any sense. And that's Altuve being a freaking team player, and why we love him.
So
I would be
That's him
shocked
being-
if they moved him to left field.
So do you
that is him
think
being that is him playing I will do whatever I can do
Yeah,
to keep that
and
man
you know
on
what?
our team.
And he would.
And he would.
okay,
But he
so
doesn't need to.
And I tell you what, if we put him in left field, I will flip tables, because what the hell are we
yeah,
doing? Like,
So-
what are we doing as
so
as
if
an
you're-
organization?
if you're Jim Crane, Dana Brown, Astros brass, and you hear this comment from Altuve, are you happy with that? Because I mean, I shouldn't say clearly. In our opinion, the Astros have gone no. We tried to get Bregman in. He said no. We went and got Paredes. It's done. So now it's the. I mean, it feels like it's the it's the gamesmanship of Bregman and the Astros both going, hey, offers on the table. Astros, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, it's in his court. I mean,
You're probably not thrilled, but at the same time, dude, like, you know how it is. We all do. This whole team stuff doesn't. It's so few and far between. And that guy was on this team when they were losing 174 games a year, and he's earned it. Like, if anyone's earned it, that guy has earned it.
yeah.
And
I'm not
so
saying,
if he
your
wants
question
to
is
say that,
less-
yeah,
I think your
nobody's
question is
saying
less-
nothing.
I think your question is less, are they happy? It's not as much, are they happy about it, or do they feel undermined? And they should. They should feel like, oh yeah, like we're being questioned by players here, and they should feel like publicly questioned, and I think that's okay. And you know what? If they're not able to take the criticism and not able to adapt to it, then they are doing something wrong.
I'm just concerned because Altuve knows more than we know.
yeah, 100%.
And so that's
He's listening right now, texting Bregman.
Yeah.
Well, he just
So
texted me.
If
Well,
Altuve
agrees.
if
Agrees what we
Altuve, if he knows the ins and outs, like he's saying that, and so like in my mind, it's like, well, maybe there is some chance that this is real, because if it's all like smokescreen, well, then he's probably not saying that. He may know that whatever, but he could have also said, like, I mean, he could have not been baited, but basically been led into the, well, hell, I'll play left field. I mean, it could have been something as simple as that, and I didn't see the video or audio or none of that, but where he said he'd play left field. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing that just doesn't sit easy with me, is that when Altuve says that, and again, I'm under the assumption that he knows the situation, and so he's saying that is makes you kind of go, well, maybe this is real. You know?
Did you see the reaction of Pena?
No.
They this was on the
Oh, at the
NBC.
Fan Fest or whatever.
At the
right?
Fan Fest. It was like NBC, like local NBC,
Mhm.
like KHVU or whatever was interviewing him, and they said, what do you think about Altuve saying he wants to move out to left? Pena, first he's heard of it, says, who said that?
No way.
Who said that?
I
were
did
like,
not
yeah.
see that.
Altuve said that. He's like, oh,
Pena,
okay.
Pena doesn't want him leaving second base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, okay, who's playing second, Paredes or Bregman?
Paredes.
Paredes.
You can't.
And Bregman's
I
in
mean,
there.
assuming Bregman's elbow is okay, which is it his left elbow or his right?
No,
I've
this is
never.
right.
This is right. Okay.
This is going.
So that could be an issue. So if that's healthy, I'm okay. I'm assuming he got his bone spurs scoped. I'm assuming. I mean, he doesn't have.
We will never know.
No, we will not. You're absolutely right. Um,
Now's not a good time to talk about surgeries.
exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, he could have done the Dark of Night with Scott Boris's team, whatever. But
Yes.
Oh wait, Tucker just rolled his ankle. He's fine.
Yeah, no, he just got a bruise on his
Just got
shin.
a bruise. Oh yeah, it was just a bone bruise. It's fine.
Yeah, he's
Deep
day
bruise.
to day for 3 months.
It's fine. He's fine.
okay, so let's Neal. That's a good question because there's a couple things. Let's hit a couple narratives. So one, who plays second?
This is under the guise of if we sign Bregman.
Yeah, it's Altuve's playing second.
Yeah. I mean,
there's Paredes goes to left field and you see if he can handle it. And
but does Paredes become any different than Pedro León?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean,
that's a good point.
I mean,
yeah.
Why did we sign Isaac Paredes?
Like, because we didn't think we were.
It's Esau.
Yeah, that too.
Because we didn't think we were going to get
probably for
Bregman
a long time.
back.
I'm going to call him Isaac
because we didn't think we were going to get Bregman.
Yes, right. So I mean, we got him signed as our third baseman.
Okay, this is where I'm going. I'm going though.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, fair. Okay, there's people there that saying we should trade him if Bregman signs. No, we should not. He's cheap. He can play first. He can play third. We know that. We're going to see if he can play maybe second, maybe outfield. Unless your doors get blown off with a trade deal, no, you don't. Because guess what? Who says Altuve, Christian Walker, Alex Bregman, or anyone else stays healthy?
Who says that bone spur doesn't come back?
You have 3 years of control with a guy at $6 million this year. And the guy is probably licking his chops to hit in the Crawford boxes. You do not trade that guy unless you can know for a fact you're going to make your team better. I saw on Astros Twitter saying trade him back to the Cubs. What? How stupid? What? How stupid are you? I mean, like, no.
Trade him back to the Cubs.
The best thing the Astros did when they were winning World Series was had guys that were versatile and had flexibility. And part of our issue last year is we lacked a little bit of that after Dubon. Once Dubon was in play, our versatility and flexibility was gone. I mean, Marwin Gonzalez, Dubon. I mean, that's why I hate Singleton on the roster. He has no versatility. And
love me some Dubon.
So I'm looking at.
I know you do. And he has his place.
I'm looking at Isak. Thank you, Christian.
You're welcome.
Paredes in his career. Okay, he's played third base 335 times.
In Major League Baseball?
Correct. He has played second base 67 times, shortstop 7, DH 14, and then first base 71. So
you do not trade that versatility.
So he's played every position in the infield.
Yeah. At the highest level of the sport.
Correct. And
he's like Dubon.
Except better.
How many gold gloves does he have?
Oh boy.
Pull up offensive stats.
For
we talking about defense.
It doesn't matter.
We're talking defense.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here going, why? I'm not moving Paredes to the left field.
Okay, where you put? So you're moving. So what are you doing then?
I'm not bringing Bregman back. I mean,
I don't think you're wrong either. I know.
All right. Okay. So let's take Neal's path. We then have some money to burn.
Oh, let's tap those brakes. Let's tap those brakes. I
Well,
wouldn't say to burn because we're burning plenty.
we've got some. We can go out and go get maybe an outfielder.
Yeah. The problem is who's out
Who?
there?
Yeah, who's left?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that.
Who was the
I wanted
salamander? Who was the
Like,
salamander guy that we didn't get that the Blue Jays got?
Santander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
ah,
I mean, that
Yeah,
was 90 million. I mean, and he hit 40 bombs last year. I mean, that's what it's going to take. I
yeah.
personally, this is not like and I think I brought this on the last podcast. This is not a name, and it doesn't matter now because he signed somewhere. I don't even remember where. But I wanted to sign Jesse Winkler, a left-handed bat who can hit, especially
There's
against righties.
was he the Diamondback guy?
Well, he's bounced around. He was at Seattle, Mets. I mean, I don't know. He's been all over, but we need another left-handed bat, and he can play outfield, and he's cheap. Someone signed him. He might even re-sign with his current team. I don't know. He's always traded at the trade deadline because he's valuable, because he's a third, fourth outfielder who can hit.
I'm gonna look him up. What was his name?
Jesse Winkler. I mean, that's who I wanted them to get to be the fourth guy and rotate whoever's struggling in the outfield. Plus, he's left-handed, but he's gone. So the Dorton, I agree. Like if Bregman's not signed, I thought
He,
we needed a bat with Bregman. If he's not here, we need another bat.
yeah, he went
and
back to the
specifically,
Mets.
we need somebody out in the
That's
outfield.
what was the contract?
Um, let me see. We'll pull up. I got a video. Not listening.
There's just not that many free agents out there.
Who's Mark Conha?
Watch your mouth.
Canna,
This is
Mark Canna.
Oh, sorry.
Is he still available?
Yep.
I wouldn't hate that either.
Okay, so Winker, he signed with the Met 1-year deal. Gosh dang it. I don't
Sport track.
So maybe, I mean, I don't know.
8 million.
I mean, like, why are we not signing that guy as an insurance policy to
Yeah.
play right field or left field, hit left-handed, like for $8 million? Like that's because we had to do the Presley trade for flexibility, and we had to do this and do that. Like Jesse
Yeah, but
Winkler should have been the trade. I mean,
guess
the
they
signing.
what was the
You know who else is available? Alex Verdugo.
Yeah, I know. Left-handed bat.
I mean, he's friggin' Yankee, but
He's been a Red Sox and a Yankee. I
know,
wonder,
but
does that some of those places will show you what they think he's going to get. I think he's in the same Bregman camp. I think he's overvaluing himself.
so they're looking at. God,
I don't
he's in
hate
an
it.
ARB. He's in an ARB year. No, he just avoided ARB, so he's just out of ARB. Okay, yeah, this is his first year unrestricted. He was 9.2 last year, and they're saying possible. No, yeah, last year he was. Oh no, last year he was 8.7. This year they're saying 9.2.
who is this?
Alex Verdugo.
Oh.
I like Canna better, but I think Canna's going to be more expensive. But the Verdugo's a left-handed bat.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember Verdugo.
Yeah. Well, I want to know y'all's thoughts on why. Okay, Presley Cubs. Got it. Surely this came up like when the Kyle Tucker conversations were going on. And I know dominoes fall at different times, different teams.
By the way, this is only the second time that name's come up.
Who's?
This whole podcast.
Kyle Tucker? Oh.
One was because he got hit in the leg, and now this.
Yeah, I mean, I fully
just
expect
FYI.
I fully expect him to win the MVP this year, but I'm not paying him $400 million. I'm just not doing it.
Be in the National League.
He might win the MVP of the regular season.
Oh, we're not gonna throw darts at Kyle Tucker right now.
Oh, I can't for his postseason performance. Yeah, I'm with Dorton on this one.
Well,
Neal,
awful. There's awful.
Quit. Like hard
quit.
Okay.
Okay, this is where we know.
I'm gonna go sit in the stands.
This is where we know. This is where we know Neal's heart is. For how long have we known each other, the three of us, and how long have we bashed Biggio and Bagwell's postseason performance?
Yeah. Hammered them. Which is why Altuve is the greatest Astro of all time.
1,000% correct.
100%. Ever.
So I forget my question basically was, if this had gotten done when the Kyle Tucker thing was getting done, maybe we don't miss on some of these guys. And again, I'm not saying it's the Astros' fault, but it just
that's fair.
It just sucks. I wonder. I'd like to know the background on the holdup.
Well, I will say that the Cubs were needing a big time player. They got one. They were needing then to unload that POS Bellinger, which they did, or not unload him. He was a free agent, but they didn't want to re-sign him.
Replace him, yeah.
But they were going to have to if they didn't get Tucker. So, I mean, you know how it is, dude. It's dominoes, right?
Yeah.
They get Tucker, so they don't need Bellinger. Bellinger goes and signs with the Evil Empire, and now they're like, okay, we need pitching. I mean, that stuff's hard, and it's hard to piece a guy that's Kyle Tucker's level and Presley making $14 million at the same. I mean, that stuff's not easy to do.
I'm kind of hoping that we get to face the Yankees again and put that droopy-eyed SOB back in his place.
Dorton throwing bullets tonight.
Oh, golly. I can't stand that Bellinger. I can't stand him.
I'm with him on Bellinger. I can't stand him.
Oh, garbage.
I can't stand him. Just a Arizona
How
trash.
about
no offense to all of our Arizona listeners. No offense to all of our Arizona listeners.
How about the guy that I've wanted for 2 years, Jock Peterson, signing the Rangers, and then calling the Astros out?
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah, I hope he gets hit in the ribs. Okay, so Dorton, you are correct. We need another bat. I don't know who that's going to be.
I mean,
you brought up. What did Canna make last year?
How about while I look this up, how about this? Even if we bring Bregman back, we still need an outfielder.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, exactly. That's exactly what I was kind of
like. You guys discuss that, and I'll look up Canna.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like pitching.
I like the Mark Canna. The problem is he's right-handed. He's like the other.
We've got 17 of those. Yeah.
Jokers we have.
Canna made 13.25 last year, and
he's a free agent.
He's
free agent now.
He's a free agent. He's UFA right now. He's 36.
Oh, that's the problem. That's why I hadn't signed now. Huh.
He's 36.
Why pay a 36-year-old when you've got a 23-year-old that can probably
for 700,000
mimic the numbers? Yep.
Yeah, probably use AI.
Okay, you guys know how last year? I have nothing. I have nothing on this. It's just a hunch. Okay. Who did I talk about in the offseason and I thought was going to make a splash?
Dallas Cowboys?
Jose Abreu.
Oh.
Y'all are both wrong. Last year at this time, when we were doing this pod, who did I say a name to watch that you could watch on the roster that might be either a call-up, someone that makes the rosters that might make a splash, that help the Astros? I'm going to make you guys say it. Who was it?
Coffee?
Oh, boy. That would not have been him.
McCoffey.
No.
McCoffey.
That dude's dead to me.
I can't wait for him to start pitching on day one. He's ready to go.
Day one where?
Of 26. 2026.
I'll bet against that. That ain't gonna happen. I will bet you right now that he's not on the opening day roster in 2026. And now you know what? You won't take that bet. You won't do it.
No way, no chance.
Exactly.
Who did you? I have no idea. Who did you say? I can't remember 3 weeks ago.
Joey Luperfido.
No, I thought you were talking about the Astros.
I was.
No,
I'm talking about for
saying,
last year.
this coming year. And what about Joey?
What are we gonna make a splash and get Joey back? Is that what's happening?
Man. Let me tell you what. Don't think we don't need him right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're saying he's the answer.
Oh, that's wait. We've got Kikuchi. Oh no, we don't. Okay,
No, we
got
don't.
it.
No,
Got
we
it.
don't.
But we got
No way.
Kikuchi for our 2-game playoff run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
we
he never
didn't
left.
pitch-
Where he
he
never
didn't
left
pitch
the bullpen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having Joey Bats right now would feel a lot better.
It's just another option. Yes.
No, it wouldn't be another option. It would be another bat in the outfield.
I know. I'm telling you.
Solid
I
bat in the
know.
outfield.
I know. That trade's gonna look like garbage. I'm telling you. The Trammell kid.
Yeah.
I haven't. He might be the guy. I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than he's sucked so far. So maybe a change of, a lot of faith. But he's the name I'm looking at. Left-handed hitting outfielder. Maybe a change of scenery does him good. That's the name I was going to bring up to watch.
Okay. Where is the other
I
left
even
hand?
know. What's his first name? Taylor? Is it Taylor Trammell?
Let me see.
I don't even have all of
I
them.
just
Taylor Trammell.
You beat me to it.
Okay.
Yes, Taylor. What?
Never mind. His numbers are awful. Never mind.
Okay, so his numbers where in the minors?
It doesn't matter. Scratch that from the podcast.
He's we don't.
All
do
right,
that.
right now. All right, let me go through. Let me go down our outfielders.
I want to throw
ready?
one. I want to throw one in the list starting off because I want to know your thoughts on this. Where is Jacob Melton? Because he's a lefty.
Yes, I mean I think he's going to get an opportunity eventually, but he's got to he's got to cut down on the strikeout. Super athletic, power, can run. I mean, the problem is the K rate. It's the same problem with honestly Jober Luperfido. They're very similar.
Okay, I was going to say, is he the next Joey Luperfido?
So
I don't
he's
know.
not on the 40 man right now.
No.
He's more talented than Luperfido. He is. He's more talented. Luperfido is just a gamer. You know, he's one of those guys, ball players. But Melton is more talented than Luperfido. He's got to cut down on the K rate. I mean, that dude, his last year at Oregon State was raking. I mean, you couldn't throw the guy. It looked like a beach ball to the guy. You know, I thought his K rate would be better. I'm hoping that maybe it's that guy and maybe he figures out. But let me tell you what, when you go from minor league pitching to major league pitching, your K rate usually doesn't get better. It usually gets worse. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would love for him to be the guy. I would love.
I'm going to go down on our 40 man. I'm going to go down our outfield list. All right.
Okay.
And you guys, and I'm going to kind of start from kind of more unknowns and go up. You ready?
What do you need us to do here? What are we doing?
Yeah, I want some opinions.
Are we just listening to this trash? Okay.
You're going to listen to the trash, and then you're going to give an opinion. You ready?
All right. Go.
Kennedy Corona. Cooper Hummel.
Okay, hold on. Kennedy Corona has the ability to be a fourth outfielder in the Major League Baseball.
Okay.
When?
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think he's there yet, right?
I'm not shutting the door on him yet. I think he could be a Major League platoon outfielder.
And he's
23.
Yeah, I think he can be a Major League platoon outfielder.
And he's a right-hander.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cooper Hummel.
Complete joke. Trash. Get him off the lineup. Get him off the roster.
He's on the 40 man.
He's on the 40 man.
He will be for a little bit.
Pedro León.
Hang on, back up. Is Cooper Hummel on the opening day roster?
He better hit 400 in spring. I mean,
I bet he better kill it in the spring.
of course, Joey Lucafito hit 400 and he wasn't on it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Right,
he has he has a very limited. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't. No.
Pedro León.
I would say not likely.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, Pedro León, he's not above León.
If Pedro León, if you could only play defense, he would be on the roster.
Fine. I mean, like, is that better than Cooper Hummel?
Did you see León hit?
Yeah.
And when his time up, it was awful.
What's the difference between him and Myers and McCormick?
Well, other than his first swing that was a double down the line, I'm not sure Pedro León did anything after that.
No. I'm saying defensively. That's what I mean. I'm saying I'm not a fan.
He's a plus defender, no doubt.
Yeah,
with a plus arm, better than both of their arms.
I'm taking McCormick and Jake.
I am too. No, I'm just you asked the question, I answered. I am too.
Okay.
Cooper Hummel had a whopping
I don't really
23 at bats. 23 at bats last season and batted in 87.
He'll be a DFA candidate.
I mean, it feels like I don't understand. Okay, so Pedro León, and then we get into all right, we get into Jake, we get into Chaz, we get into Jordan.
Well, look, real quick, Jake and Chaz both need to step up and have better years offensively.
Or what? Right now, Jake and Chaz are starting.
I know. Which should never be the case.
Jake and Chaz can limp through the spring.
I know.
And there are starters.
That's a problem. Obviously.
Keep going.
Keep going. Jordan. Taylor Trammell.
That's the guy. That's him.
Like, there we go. Like, done and done. That's our outfield.
Well, and so then you're 40 man guys.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why didn't we re-sign Jason Hayward?
That is a good question.
Did he sign?
What happened to
Probably
Jason
not,
Hayward?
but he's older. But I mean, he's a left-handed bat that can play right field.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm looking right now.
I don't expect him to be an all-star. And guess what? If you sign him and he sucks, you can cut him.
Yeah. Well, the two other names that are not on the 40 man roster are Quincy Hamilton and then Jacob Melton.
Yeah. Jacob Melton's going to get a shot this year. I just worry about his K rate, but yeah, he has to. I mean, again, he's more physically gifted than Joey Lucafito.
That's saying a lot. And here's another.
I'm kind of concerned
about Jason Hayward.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I found him. He's an unrestricted free. He's UFA.
Yeah.
I would sign him as an insurance policy, and if he's terrible in spring training, you waive him.
You know what his payroll was last year?
What?
Well, take a guess. What his payroll?
I mean, I have. Where was he? He was with he was with Dodgers, and they cut him. Right? They waived him.
Yeah. We put 123,000 on him last year.
Because it was prorated.
Prorated. Yeah. For 123,000 for almost probably a quarter of the season.
Why don't you just give that guy $1 million and say, come to spring training?
Give him $2 million and put him on the practice squad. My God.
He wasn't terrible.
No.
He's irrelevant.
He could be better than anything we have right now.
No, he signed. Sorry, he did sign. He signed 740, guaranteed 740.
With
That's
but Detroit picked up all but 123 of that. He signed for 740.
Was Detroit?
He signed a 1 year with the Astros, but he is on the 2024 payroll for 123 of that 740.
You're talking about for the Dodgers?
No, he signed a $740,000 contract with the Astros, but
yeah, last year, but it's prorated for 123.
123, correct?
Yeah, because it's the base minimum salary, but it's prorated for his time service in Astro.
So give him $1 million and
Agreed.
Call it even.
Agreed.
Million guaranteed. Like, bring him on the team.
You don't think he would take 740?
Guy.
He'd probably take 740,000 right now, guaranteed.
He'd probably take lunch every day.
Maybe 620. 620.
Yeah,
620 and a free salad every day.
740 is the minimum.
I'm out. I'm out on that.
You are?
Yeah, I'm out on that.
I'm not.
I mean,
I am hard out on Cooper Hummel. Like, the more I'm looking at these stats, the more I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why are we signing this guy and not Hayward?
I agree.
A known entity.
I'm with
Somebody
Dorton on
who's
this one.
been in the locker room. Like, why are we doing this?
Again, Majewski, you can cut him if he's terrible.
Yeah, I don't want him taking reps from somebody.
From who?
Dubon.
Do we know what Dubon is? We won't take reps from Dubon.
Then I don't want him taking them from Trammell. I don't want him taking them from León. I just
Neal
Corona. I mean, I'm nah.
Remember, you're paying the same salary because it's minimum.
If Hayward is the difference, then shame me.
All right. Okay, here we go. Here's the number 2. You ready?
Number 2, what?
Here's our scenario. Here's our second set of questions.
Oh, okay.
Or second set.
Yeah, and after this one, we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah. But I'm going to give you the infielders, and then I'm going to tell you these are the infielders we have now on the 40. And if we sign Bregman,
okay.
If we sign Bregman,
DeZenzo or Whitcomb is going to play left field too. Just FYI.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, those guys aren't. You don't have them as outfielders on the 40, but those.
Now you got me.
The better of those two, whoever performs better in
will be in
spring training will be a platoon outfielder in left field.
One more reason we don't need Bregman.
All right, but let's say we sign Bregman.
No.
One of these infielders has to go.
Okay.
Bregman. Is Bregman one of them?
No, Bregman's the one that's coming in to take the place of one of these.
I love Bregman. I wish he'd be an Astro forever. I do.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
All right, one of these has to go. You ready? You holler when you hear somebody that has to go. Altuve.
Stay.
Christian Walker.
Stay.
Jeremy Pena.
Flip a coin.
Oh, come on.
You know I had to.
Yes.
Paredes.
Stay.
DeZenzo.
Stay.
Whitcomb.
I predict DeCenzo will outplay Whitcomb.
Very likely, but that doesn't mean he's not useful. Agreed.
He played really good with his 5 errors at third base last year in one game.
that was amazing.
Yeah, that was a tough night. All right.
That's the thing.
Whitcomb,
that guy's not a major league infielder. He's not a major league infielder.
Whitcomb, yes or no?
I mean, to where? I'd put him in the minors. No, he's not making a roster.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it, because John Singleton's definitely making the team. And like he's staying. So
he can't. He has no flexibility.
So, no, John Singleton is on the roster and will be staying. Like he is on the 40-man. No, he's staying. And we'll probably start.
He probably he won't start. He probably is going to make their damn roster. He probably is. The guy is unbelievable.
I tell you what, like it is exciting to watch him come up and bat and like to cheer for him, and then watch him, do his thing. But
he's the bad penny. I mean, we've kept that dude around for.
I love the bat
15
flip for
years.
a lazy fly ball in center field. That gets me every time. I love it so much.
Oh God!
All right. Let's hit this. Let's wrap.
Yeah,
this up.
Dorton got us with the roster. God, that roster sucks. Okay,
The outfields.
We will talk. Yeah.
We haven't even touched pitching.
We've got a lot of it.
A lot of it.
They're just not healthy.
we haven't even. No, today we didn't even touch pitching today.
Yeah, he's throwing off the mound, boys.
That's coming next.
We didn't even touch it. We didn't even look at the pitching. So much work.
Y'all saw McCoffey. They said he's throwing off the mound.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
He's been thrown off the mound since he was 6.
Well,
ready to go.
In 2 days, in 2 to 3 days, it's coming.
He'd be fine.
We shut him.
Setback.
He'd be fine. Hey, Neal, no.
We got a setback. Shut him down. Shut him down.
He'd be fine. He'd be fine.
I can't wait for that announcement. God,
give him a week or two. Give him like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, he can be fine.
Right here. It hurts him. Felt something.
Lifting his coffee and just the dollar signs. Every time he lifts his coffee, just dollar signs. Just he's making $17 million from the Astros. He's making another 10 in his coffee. What a joke! That's the worst. Okay,
we'll wrap this up. I need one sentence on your thoughts. On your thoughts on this. Verlander's a San Francisco Giant.
Thank God.
Dorton.
I had
that's gross.
Don't let the earthquakes get you, I guess.
I had concerns he was going to re-sign. I had concerns.
Why is that gross?
Like, I can't picture that dude in a San Francisco Giants.
Did you see what he signed for?
No.
$14 million.
That just doesn't fit.
13.99999 more than he should get.
That just doesn't fit.
And
I'm glad he's in the National League, just in case
he's not
comes back alive.
All right, man, it was fun finally getting together and doing one. Baseball season is almost upon us. I started middle one's baseball season yesterday, so it is here. And it's one of the great times of year, and hopefully we'll get some more news and some clarity what's going to happen.
Y'all started in the snow?
Basically. So, boys, go Stros.
Go Stros.
Go Stros.